Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
The custom to not blow out candles with one's mouth. Does this really have a source in Judaism? Must one abide by it? Are there any reasons recorded regarding it? And how severe is it? So while there is obviously no known association within the 613 mitzvahs, or its details in which there is linking to abstaining from blowing out a candle with one's mouth, there are various things that we keep in Judaism not just because they are directly part of one of the 613 commands or the rabbinical decrees, but because of matters that lead to danger. And since the Torah commands a Jew to guard his health, he therefore must guard matters that are done to prevent danger from occurring to him. Now, this does not just extend to matters of physical danger, but also matters which can be considered dangerous due to spiritual reasons. Now, obviously, there's no physical danger involved in blowing out a candle with one's mouth, but perhaps there is some unknown and mystical spiritual danger involved if one does so. So our first source to research this subject would be the Talmud, which mentions various lists of matters that we are not allowed to do due to danger, and they are spiritual dangers and not physical dangers that we actually understand. However, we do not find anywhere in the Talmud listed this idea that one should not blow out a candle with one's mouth, which seems to lead that this is actually not a sourced custom. It is likewise not recorded in the Torah or the Shulchan Aruch or in the Alter Rebbe's very lengthy discussion of matters avoided due to spiritual and physical sakana in a section in Choshen Mishpat, which can lead one to conclude that in truth there is no need to abide by this, and it is part of the many other folklore and unsubstantiated customs that were taken upon throughout the generations for superstitious reasons. However, a deeper and further look and research reveals that in truth this minhag of not blowing out a candle with your mouth is very well sourced. It is first written of in the Kolboi, which was an Ashkenazi Rishon. In chapter 118, he writes there in Din Maisa Torah things that were received from Rabbeinu HaKadosh Yehuda HaNasi, the author of the Mishnah. And there he writes that there are 4 things that if one does them, his blood is on his head. And number 3 on the list is one who extinguishes a candle with his mouth. And this is later recorded in the Reishis Chachma in Chupas Eliyahu, chapter 3, halacha 7. There he writes that there are 3 things that if one does them, his blood is in his head. And number 2 is one who extinguishes a candle with his mouth. It's likewise written in Pirkei, the Rabbeinu HaKadosh, page 27, Ksav Yad Ashkenazi, which was written in the 1500s, Oitza Midrashim of Eisenstadt, and likewise in later Achreinim, such as the Lechem HaPanim in Yeredeya, chapter 116.5, Zivchei Tzedek, the Ben Ishchai Pashas Pinchas, halacha 18 writes this in the name of the Arizal and Sharuach HaKodesh, and so records the Kaf HaChaim in chapter 116, halacha 115. Thus, based on this is not just a superstitious, unbased custom, but has a real basis amongst Gdeli Yisrael and the great Tana, Rabbi Yehuda HaKadosh, and thus certainly those who abide by it are to continue to do so, and we do not apply here Shomer P'sayim Hashem, which says that Hashem protects the fools, which allows even initially to disregard the spiritual warnings, as this clause is only used in a case that the custom is to no longer be careful. When the custom in the world is to no longer be careful, one of the spiritual dangers or mystical dangers, then we say even initially you don't have to be careful, even though you know of the sources. But in this case, we see in practice that many people are careful till today not to blow out a candle with one's mouth, and therefore everybody should abide by this today as well. Nonetheless, if somebody is not aware of this, or somebody doesn't care to be careful, on him, b'di'evet, we can apply the rule of Shomer P'sayim Hashem, that Hashem protects the fools. This is especially in light of the fact that, as we mentioned, all the other sources, the main source of the Shulchan Aruch, omit this statement, which gives room to question whether one must actually accept this custom upon oneself. Nonetheless, as we stated initially, one should certainly be machmir, and therefore, if you're lighting candles on a birthday cake, don't blow it out with your mouth. Don't have your child blow it out with his mouth, as is the custom. Nonetheless, there is one case scenario in which the poskim write that it is permitted to blow out the candle with one's mouth, and that is when it's for the sake of a mitzvah. Writes the Lechem Apanim as well as Zivchei Tzedek and the Kaf HaChaim that those women who blow out the Shabbos candles using their mouth, it's referring to the custom that women would have to light the candles and then extinguish them so the wick easily ignite when it comes time for Adlakas Neiros. So since this is for the sake of a mitzvah, for the sake of Adlakas Neiros Shabbos, then we continue to do so and blow out the candles as one who guards a mitzvah knows no evil, so conclude the above said poskim. One last point that we have not yet touched upon, and that is, what in truth is the reason behind why all these svarim and the widespread custom is not to blow out the candle? So the reason recorded in the Kolba as well as the Reishis Chachma is that it causes the nichfe illness. This is a type of neurological illness similar to that of seizures. And they write that blowing out a candle causes chas v'shalom this neurological illness. The common explanation that people say, even though it doesn't have a source, is because it says Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam, the light, the candle, is compared to the soul of a person, and therefore one shouldn't use his breath, which is how the soul enters the body. As it says, V'yipach ba'apav nishmas chaim, that should not be used to put out a candle which represents his soul, due to it being a bad omen. This reason, however, does not have any source that I have found. So to summarize this halacha, it is a widespread custom not to blow out candles with your mouth, and this custom is rooted in many svarim and poskim, and therefore should be abided by all, although those who do not do so don't have to be protested, and to them we can apply the statement of Shemer P'sayim Hashem, that Hashem guards the fools. Nonetheless, if it's for the sake of a mitzvah, then it may be done even initially by all to blow it out with one's mouth, as one who guards a mitzvah knows no evil.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.